The trouble when you have been very much admired, loved and of course feted, it's difficult, isn't it? Particularly if you are someone like macro celebrity, you've enjoyed fame for 2 or 3 years, 5 years, and then suddenly it all falls off a cliff. It must be even harder, of course, if you've been a much loved member of the British royal family. And this is now what's really happening to the former royal that is known as Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. In fact, this left him absolutely reeling, but not in a good way. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good to see you. You all right? Thank you so much as ever for taking the time out today. Nice to have your company. I'm glad, by the way, you enjoyed our recent jolly my recent jolly, should I say, around the Fortnum and Masons and those royal connections. Incredible, isn't it, when you think, I'm sorry, I'll have a quick wave with you, sorry, I'm miles away as ever, but it's interesting, isn't it, because you kind of think, yeah, it's all about timing and a little bit of money, and I think a lot of luck, it's who you meet, and that's the thing, isn't it? I know I often say this on the channel, but even if you can just get a phone call with somebody or a Zoom or, just get out a little bit and sit on a bench, you never know who you're going to meet, and that can change the whole direction of your life. I'm not saying you'll suddenly be opening a shop making millions like Fortnum, but you know what I mean. It is about just getting out there, isn't it, and meeting the right people. Some people might say that this is not the case, though, now, for, of course, the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry. You see, he was known as somebody who was very much liked, and apparently, more popular at points in polls than our late and brilliant monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. And I could sort of verify that, in fact, because, he was this sort of, well, he had no problems attached to him. It was a kind of an easy life for Harry, whatever he thinks, because he just had to turn up and be fun. But what we found out behind the scenes was he didn't like royal life and he didn't like being fun, and apparently found it all very, very taxing, even though he was living rent-free and had the very best healthcare, everything you want. I'm not suggesting that that should be just the thing if you don't feel very well or you have, mental illness or whatever you want to call it, but on the whole, a lot of us would feel a lot happier with those sort of problems taken away, right? So you can understand, well, he's tried to rebrand himself literally into the world as this all-action hero, this guy that apparently we fell in love with. He came over here for the Well Child Awards earlier last month now, should I say, and, we saw remnants, if you like, of Harry as he used to be. And then when he got back to New York, he shocked the world, didn't he, by doing this? That's right, well, apparently, according to him, he was inspired because his mother-in-law, Doria, has a tat. Oh, yes. And you see, the bottom line is he liked the idea, apparently, and so went to visit this celebrity tattoo artist. But did he? It was all a stunt. Everything Harry and Meghan do is deflection, distraction. It's trying to keep themselves relevant, because when you think about it, other celebrities, micros, like the Kardashians, do it without much hassle. Harry and Meghan have to try a little bit harder, you see. Now, obviously, we don't know whether he actually had a tattoo. Nobody genuinely knows. I was told that it was simply a minor inquiry, but this apparently wasn't, and he was absolutely stunned by what happened next. Remember this? Yes, him surfing, which of course gave the illusion that he was on the crest of a wave, forgive the pun, and almost being like something out of a Y50, remember? But of course, then we found out it was a machine in someone's, a sort of area in California, but it was the sort of thing that you might want to do, particularly when you hit 40 and have a problem. Yes, trying to find a definition of your life. But the bigger thing, and this is coming from an excellent source, an absolute excellent source that knows Harry well, was he thought this was going to realign him back. People were going to flock and say, what an action hero, what a lovely man, look at him, he's agile, he's this, he's 40, he's doing what he loves. And apparently, of course, it all kind of went a little bit pear-shaped, people mocking him for being on a machine. Now, I've told you before, I can do this, so I have a lot of admiration. But it's not the right thing to do. If this is the way that you think you're going to market yourself and get people to re-like you and fall back in love with you, whatever you want to call it, it's simply not going to work. And what Harry's really finding is that when he was cosseted inside the British monarchy and people were a little bit more deferential, in the harsh world of celebrity, where you're 10 a penny and you come and go and your latest stunt can literally die or fail, well, this one definitely died. And some people might say it was literally engulfed by the waves that he was chasing. If you thought this was going to put him back on track in popularity polls and opinion polls, well, that didn't. Sean in the very heart of London.